Chat, be very careful. Be very careful, okay? You guys don't want to end up like Mr. Mutahar over here, okay? Do not wear the Christian medallion. Every single person who wears this freaking medallion always gets turned into a lol cow. Don't do it, chat. Not even as a joke, okay? This is what happens, okay? Look at what happened to Nick Ricada. Look at what happened to Mutahar now, chat. Be very, very, very careful, okay? I like Mutahar. I like some ordinary gamers. There were a lot of things that he was judging people for, but apparently he does worse stuff himself. So let's just see like what this is all about, okay? I'm not superstitious, but that is a cursed artifact if I have ever seen one. Dude, I know. Everybody who wears this thing gets turned into a lol cow immediately. Listen, I may or may not have said on Discord as a joke, okay? I may or may not have said I was gonna download the Sonic Shoe medallion. It was a joke, okay? Play with fire, shut up. Focus, chat. We have to focus.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here. So it appears that the
What's up,
Sonic Shoe medallion has claimed another soul. Only a few months after putting on this cursed trinket, Mutahar finds himself in some pretty serious controversy involving this now privated video he uploaded yesterday titled Post Nux Clarity, which, regardless of your thoughts.
By the way, press 1 in chat if you guys actually saw that video. I was able to watch it. I wasn't aware of the drama ongoing, so I just watched it and then it was done, right? So.
About the content of this video, you have to admit the title is a banger. Now, what was this video about? Well, it was 40 minutes of Mutahar disavowing Nux Taku in every shape and form, saying that they are no longer friends and they no longer have a business relationship, and any bridge between the two has been completely burned down. Now,
okay, so good. So you guys aren't even, hey, for once on this stream, I'm a little bit more ahead than you guys in information. Cool. Okay, gotcha.
Now, this tweet right here really kind of sums up the relevant context you need to know before we get into the video. Of course, there are some re-uploads that we're going to look at today. So this says, Nux goes extreme anti-lolly to cater to people like Mutahar. Rev exposes Nux for being a hypocrite. Nux says he's so big he could de-platform Rev. Mutahar makes a video damning and cutting ties with Nux because he considers him a lolicon. Yeah, so that's pretty much how everything went. So about 2 years ago, Nux makes a bunch of tweets and some offhand remarks and videos disparaging people over the topic of lolly. Now,
okay, so let's go through it real quick. So Nux changes his beliefs to cater to people like Mutahar. So okay, so right from the get-go, that's, by the way, that's something that I found kind of funny when I was streaming. Like one of the first few streams I did some joke about Valorant players being, you know, disabled, I think I said, or something like that. And somebody responded with like, oh, be careful, you're gonna get, you know, banned or canceled. And I'm like, I don't care, you know, like who cares, man? If you listen, like I like YouTubers and content creators who kind of stick to their guns, you know, and you know, they are just who they are, you know. Listen, somebody said someone is bad because one NPC from Minecraft was bad because they're a Valorant player, and then like I said, well, no, they're not bad because they're a Valorant player, they're disabled or something like that. Like, and you know, I found it funny, and like that's it, you know. But like I'm never gonna change that and the types of jokes I do or whatever just because of that, you know. So like straight from the get-go, like this is bad, right? This is bad. Now, I didn't know this part that apparently Rev had exposed Nux for being a hypocrite. And I did hear about this third one about Nux saying that he could like deplatform Rev, but like again, I only heard about this. I didn't know why Nux was like beefing with Rev. And then this part I did watch, like which was the Mutahar video
over the topic of lolly. Now, this is, of course, something that was very hypocritical. I made a video calling all of that out, saying, hey, you have dozens of videos with cropped lolicon in your thumbnail. You've also shown this sort of content to other content creators and reacted to it yourself. And he would make this response video to what I said. And you can see the like-dislike ratio. It is easily the hardest dislike ratio you'll probably find on any video.
You know, instead of being a hypocrite, you know what you should do? You should actually just like, hey, look, if you changed your stance on something, just say it. There's no need to like actually, you know, lose your in my opinion, if you changed like how you are, that's okay. People change all the time, right? If you don't like something anymore, like it's okay for you to not like it. Like you don't have to like defend yourself because you did it in the past, you know? So like I never understood why that was that big of a deal. But you know.
He has uploaded in his entire YouTube career because it was just awful. I felt no need to make a video response to this because he essentially cooked himself. Okay, he went after me, hypocritically slandering me over things, also failing to address pretty much any point I made, focusing only on throwing insults at me. Also, he made up some wild claims that my wife was digging for dirt,
Whoa.
asking his friends for dirt on him, which
Whoa.
is really crazy. On top of that, he also said he could have deplatformed me if he uploaded this on his main Nux Taku channel.
That's weak as fuck, by the way. Never go at like if you're beefing with someone, don't go after their wives or family members. If you're beefing with someone, beef with a person. Like I actually debate the person on their merits. Don't go after their family. That's just like, you know, that's actually unironically extremely cringe. Like that's just like straight up pathetic. Yeah, I agree, Kogi. No, I'm sorry. Like don't do that. If you're ever beefing with someone, like actually talk to the person. Don't go after their family. Don't do that. And people change. Their audience is going to want to see their journey that led to that change. True. Yeah, like you don't want an iDubbbz situation, right? But like the issue with iDubbbz is that iDubbbz is not like he eventually admitted that he changed his, you know, his outlook on life, but the way he went about it was like, hey guys, like he wasn't, you know, he ended up being a dick to the people who made him, you know. But I think like that's the issue with somebody like iDubbbz. But yeah, like people change all the time. Again, Aaron said it best. Change is inevitable. Like it happens. It's fine, you know.
Obviously, that didn't go over very well, and that's kind of the Nux side of this whole lolly controversy. And now we have the side with Mutahar here. And about 2 years ago, Mutahar made several tweets about the topic, saying that if you watch that stuff, you need to be on a watch list, that it can harm real people, and that it's illegal content and all this stuff. And of course, his
lolly is not illegal, by the way.
Disgust on the topic is totally valid. That's something very understandable and that he's allowed to have, but that doesn't justify spreading misinformation and fear-mongering over the topic, and also being a hypocrite about it as well, as we'll see in this video. And on top of that, a lot of people point out the fact that he has openly admitted to regularly consuming cartel execution videos. So
What? Okay.
But at the very least, regardless of your thoughts on the fictional content, you can say, I don't really know if I want to be virtue signaled about fictional content by a guy who watches people get tortured and brutally executed on camera.
Right. So yeah, okay, yes, okay. Desu, like Rabs just took the words out of my mouth. On one is a fictional character, it's a pen and paper, it's a digital brush, it's pixels. On the other hand, people actually losing their lives. Look, dude, again, this is, you know, there's this thing people say a lot, you know, don't throw stones while you're in a glass house or whatever. But it's like, guys, come on, what are you doing? Like, please, what? Dude, that's way worse because you're rewarding people who actually are taking the lives of other people, you know, by doing that. And listen, I'm not gonna say that Lolly has no form, like, you know, that Lolly doesn't have the potential to do damage. Okay, like I think it would be ignorant of me to say that, but to actually consume content that is just, you know, actually people getting snuffed out. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, you're not in a real. Listen, your foundation is kind of wobbly, if you ask me.
So that's kind of where we were at, and I held out a lot of copium. I made the mistake of having some copium on the situation because I've enjoyed Mutahar's content for many years, and I know he's had good takes on other things, so I thought maybe one day
Mutahar is
he would
pretty
have
good
a more nuanced
overall
take on this whole subject, and maybe just even ignore it from now on. But then we had this video. And basically, to achieve what we're doing today, we're going to have to talk about some hentai, which seems fitting because if there was tags applied to this situation, it would be mind break, because this topic has mind broken Mutahar to the point where he's saying some pretty unhinged crazy stuff, including making a whole 40-minute video about this topic.
And this is what I saw his video. Who did he say was consuming that? Mutahar is consuming cartel execution videos. Scar, do you like lolly? No. Well, sorry, no, I don't. But I don't have you know, it's like people who enjoy other fetishes like war or, you know, what tentacle porn or what. I don't like them. I don't like any of that. But like, I don't care what you do or what you enjoy in your free time, in your spare time, because at the end of the day, like, that's your business, not mine, right? For that, yeah, exactly. Like, I like to no the way I see lolly and lolly content, and same goes for shota content, by the way, because there's also the reverse of that. The way I see that type of content is that I'm never gonna promote it myself, because I find it a little bit weird. Okay, but so long as you're not hurting anyone and it's just a thing that you do and nobody's getting hurt because of that, you know, I don't care, honestly. Like, you can tell me that your Blue Archive install on your phone is completely ironic, okay? And you can tell me that you swear that, you know, that the only reason you play that game is because you really like, you know, the train boss battle with the two Shupogakis, you know, with the two, like, you know, green haired twin tailed lollies or whatever. I don't care. I will never ever like promote it myself. But if you like it, okay, you know what? Good on you. Just please don't take it to real life. That's all I ask. Okay, like make sure that you're enjoying it because it's something that's not real, right? Part of the, like, something that's really good about the fact that, you know, stuff like, I mean, that you know, hentai exists, if we're being honest, is that you can do a lot of stuff that's fictional, right? Like, that's part of the appeal of hentai. So if that's like what you're into, listen, man, you're kind of weird, but hey, you know what? That's okay. Like, whatever. Like, just don't talk to me. Just don't talk to me about it. You know, like, I'm good, but like, hey, you do you, boo. Okay, I don't care. You know, but like, I do have an issue when you start like actually looting real, you know, children, and like people can actually get hurt because of that. Once you're in that boat, like, you are just on my shit list, like, just full stop, you know? So, you know, I play Madden for the story. I don't have a Tom Brady dilf fetish.
He is, of course, disavowing Nux Taku over this subject. So, as I said, the video is now private, but there are re-uploads all over the place. And we're going to start with this clip right here, where he's basically giving kind of the general intro to what we're going to talk about today.
But to go back to it, Nux Taku is a former collaborator, a former friend of mine. And I mean, really a former friend of mine, because some of the stuff that I've seen over here is disgusting enough that I really can't continue a friendship. And I really can't, like...
So, he makes it very clear from the intro that he is largely disavowing Nux Taku thanks to the fictional content he has consumed and the fictional content he has shared with other content creators, including Mutahar himself. And this is supposed to be another angle of the video where Mutahar is taking accountability for his role in consuming some of this content he believes is illegal. So this is where there's a bit of a longer clip. This goes on for about a minute, but I think it's really important to listen to, because he sets up some wild standards that end up basically being self-sabotage.
And again, when I was working with Nux, a lot of the things we did talk about was being anti-loli in that situation. And Nux very much made it clear to me that he was anti this stuff as well, too, and he still maintains it to this day. But the kind of stuff that he showed us was anime ni summer. Now, inside the video, inside Nux's presentation, it kind of came off as like just a cursed little hentai. And the reality of it is, I never really watched his collaboration. But if you take the name that ni summer has had and put it into my anime list, which I realistically should have done at the time, you can see the synopsis is Yuta Yamayuchi is a average high school student, right? So right there, I'm not going to play the whole semantics. Oh, is this really loli game? Like,
I really hate that he's like prefacing this by saying stuff like, oh, I really should have taken a look at this before I saw it at the time. I really hate that he's doing this now, because like, would it have changed anything? Like, realistically speaking, like, you probably would have seen the anime all the same, right? And if you really had an issue with that type of content, you would have just walked away from the anime when you were watching it, you know? And not do the collaboration in the first place and just say, hey, you know what? I'm out. Like, I can't do this. Like, I don't buy this excuse of like, oh, hey, yeah, I should have done the research at the time before I actually saw it. Because like, it's like, listen, if it was so objectionable to you, way back then, you could have just said, you know what, I don't want to do this, I'm out, and that's it, you know?
Even care if somebody is like 18 or on the cusp of like turning 19. At the end of the day, high school can very much involve a minor. And when you scroll down and go to the...
So that's really all we got to hear in terms of this point, but he makes several standards here, right? So he's talking about this video that Nux had him react to, and he thinks that it contains lolicon by his own definition, and that makes it bad, and he sets up the standard about high school students and high school settings and things like that. So, number one, I do believe that you should care about the definition of a term you're using to chastise others.
I
Okay,
agree.
he makes it clear that he's kind of just making up his own definition of lolly as he goes, but still feels strong enough to use that self-created definition to cancel other people. That seems a bit irresponsible to me. And if you want a correct definition, I don't care what some Twitter spurg says and their misinformation surrounding the topic, because there is so much misinformation surrounding this topic. Lolly is a very simple definition. It is a petite body type in anime and manga. That's it. It comes along with cute aesthetics. It has nothing to do with age. Twitter...
Okay, but pause. Okay. I understand that. And I agree with Rev that it's important to be very, very specific about what you're talking about, okay? But you're now arguing semantics. You know that Mutahar is... what Mutahar is actually arguing is not that definition. What he's actually arguing is that he thinks that underage people should not be looted, okay? So I hope moving forward, like, again, we're like, you know, halfway into the video, kind of, but like moving forward, I hope that they address him where he's at, because otherwise we're speaking past each other, right? Because, for example, I think I listen, when you look at a character from any look at any character from Jujutsu Kaisen, like, I'm sorry, listen, I would used to be in high school a while ago. Listen, the girls were not as stacked as Maki was or Nobara was or whatever, you know? Like, I'm sorry, but like girls didn't look like Tekken. Like, when you play Tekken, then, you know, the girls were supposedly underage. Listen, the girls in my high school did not look like the girls you see in Tekken, okay? So they clearly look more mature than whatever age they got tagged on. And I feel like and that's where I feel like it's very important to argue that point. Like, look, if the character doesn't look it, it's probably not the reason why people find it attractive, you know? Because it's like, you know what? That would mean, and like in my head, like, what that means is that if you suddenly argue that a 1,000-year-old that looting a lolly is okay, or a younger looking character is okay because you tagged the age of 1,000 on her, then what's even the point, you know? Like, why even make the distinction in the first place? So I think I understand where Mutahar is coming from, but like, there are people who actually just enjoy the aesthetic and not that fact that they're often, and let's not mince words here, like, often lolly characters are underage. Let's not pretend otherwise, okay? But, you know, like, there's a lot of levels to this, and I feel like the point of, oh, that's not what lolly actually means, it's kind of irrelevant, because you know what Muda is saying anyways, right? Like try to argue him where he's at, you know? Yeah, but he said he liked Dropout, which involved the high schoolers as slaves. Oh, Jesus Christ.
has filled people's minds with a lot of misinformation on the topic. And if you want proof of that, here's like the easiest example, right? Rebecca from Cyberpunk.
true.
She's in her
That's true.
20s. She is unequivocally
I forgot about that.
a lolly. No one can question that. That is literally what she is. Even Studio Trigger, one of the most legendary anime studios out there, categorizes her as that term.
That's true.
This is not a debate.
Yep.
Unfortunately, like I said, Twitter has spread so much misinformation that this very simple term has been manipulated into something used to weaponize outrage about fictional content, to cancel people and what have you. But anyways, we also see Mutahar set up this definition about these high school students. Even when these characters are 18 or on the cusp of being 19, it doesn't matter. It's still falling under this lolicon definition of his.
Okay, that's wild though. Okay, listen, if a character is 18 or looks older, it looks 18 or older. Listen, I would never like actually consider going out with somebody who's 18. But at that point, you're an adult. Do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. Like at that point, who cares?
Because of the school uniforms and the school setting, which is not just pretty a reach to say the least, but also it's incredible self-sabotage. I mean, one of the worst cases of self-sabotage I have seen in quite some time, because in this video that Nux showed, of course, there was those high school students, and his outrage over that would be fine if it wasn't for the fact that his self-described favorite hentai is Dropout. And if you can't see it from the image from that content, she is wearing a high school uniform.
I'm scared, chat.
Because the entire
I'm scared.
Premise of this hentai is high school students in a high school setting. And I could scroll to the right because there's tags included in this image. And
cover it? No.
I will just have to censor my whole screen. Here's some of the tags, right? There's a high school girl uniform, high school boy uniform.
Okay.
There's R wording in this. There's chloroform.
R wording? R wording? What's R wording? Wait, chat, what's R wording? Please, I'm begging you, cover it like this. Some of those tags? Great. Oh, okay. Oh, my model broke. Hold on, let me see if I can fix it. Okay, I think we're back.
There's snuff. There's other tags like vomit and scat, like to the north.
Okay, you know what? Let me add something else. Listen, if you, oh Jesus Christ, if you're into like vomit and scat, it's like, please God, guys, I implore you to, if it's like guro, scat, or vomit, guys, I implore you, please, get some help. Okay, degenerate maxing, shut up.
Normie side of the internet, which is probably the type of people who are, you know, in Mutahar's circle, that's a pretty hardcore set of content right there. Okay.
Also, somebody said something about tags. Hold on, let me scroll up on chat. NSF delete tag tier list when? Oh my god. Oh my god, what the fuck? God, that's a horrible idea.
Okay, and it contains the exact thing that he is canceling Nux for, by his own definition. And if you don't trust me, I mean, you can listen to him talking about this only a few years ago.
It was Dropout. That was the name. Dropout. Don't. So basically, the premise is it's like if you're not smart, like if you're not a smart chick, they turn you into like a like a public urinal where like you just get fucked.
You get the point, okay? He's.
Wait, so if you're retarded, you get turned into a Noda hole? Is that what the... What? Huh? What?
Describing the plot.
That's the plot of this hentai? Oh my god.
It is something that, by his own definition, is something worthy of losing a friendship over, a business relationship over. So I think that level of hypocrisy and self-sabotage in that 1 minute section of the video was already enough to really scale back any sort of point he was trying to make. But let's move on to the next section. I stated earlier in the video that a lot of people point out the fact that he consumes these cartel execution videos. And right here, he addresses that point directly.
Now, obviously, I want to address some other, like, power round criticism before we end this off. Lol, fuck Muta. Dude's been a hypocrite forever as well. Dude virtue signals over cartoons, but loves watching beheading videos. So I want to also address this statement as well. Now, on the podcast, I talked about a morbid curiosity that I have with, like, beheading videos, like cartoon stuff on the internet.
Mutahar.
And I feel like I have to explain this a little bit more. My morbid curiosity comes from the fact that for a long time, for years at this point, I've been looking into the Mexican drug war. And if you ever...
Okay, so he'll go on to clarify that a little bit more, but I think it's just an unbelievable level of copium.
if you get a bad grade, do become stress relief, or maybe it's by random. I forget. So if you get a bad grade, okay. So if you get a bad grade, you're considered retarded, and then like, what you just get raped? By what? That's the plot. Jesus Christ! You gonna be on tomorrow, little lady? No, no. Like this is the last stream for the week, so no, unfortunately.
Where he's trying to say his morbid.
Also, I see that you're saying that the plot is getting like the plot is getting like overly simplified, but like it seems like a lot of people are saying do become slaves to the smart ones. Okay, so essentially, yeah, so if you're stupid, if you're missing a few brain cells, so that's it.
Morbid curiosity towards this subject is one from an investigation sort of view, right? He's trying to investigate this topic, which is odd because it's like you're not law enforcement. It doesn't give you the right to consume any illicit content you want. And on top of that, like that sort of justification could be used for a lot of different illicit content people want to consume online. And again, at the end of the day, we're thinking too hard about this, right? I just don't think people want to be virtue signaled at about fictional content from a guy who can stomach and go through videos of real life people being brutalized in horrific ways. Okay, I think it's really not that complicated. But the next clip we're going to watch involves some of the
Yeah, I again, everything he said so far, I really agree with. Because, again, on one piece of media, people are actually losing their lives. They're paying the ultimate price. On the other piece of media, actors are pretending, they're actors are acting for a plot just so you can get off. And then, like, one with your day. Nobody got hurt, right? On one video, people die. On the other one, it's just like a piece of art that you may not like, but it's a piece of art either way. And some people like it to like jack off or whatever, right?
blind spots he had towards Nux and possibly other people, but let's listen to what he had to say.
So again, I don't really watch a lot of content creators that I collaborate with, and nobody really does, okay? Like at the end of the day, when it came to Nux's channel, here I'm signed on with my actual YouTube account, and if it's one thing that you'll see, usually under videos, there'll be like a red bar. I don't have a red bar under.
This is bullshit, by the way. Don't believe Mutahar on this one. You can remove the red bar by deleting your watch history, by the way. So this is not even like a great point to make. So, but okay, sorry. Let me rephrase that. It's not. Don't trust Mutahar. I'm just gonna say this is not a good way to prove that because you can just erase your watch history and the red bars are gone. So.
Basically any of these videos. I think the only video I have an actual red bar in this is probably I showed YouTubers the most cultured clips, which I actually browsed through just for the sake of, again, this video.
Okay, so he says some things that are right generally, but they're not correct specifically when we're referring to Nux Taku. So yes, I agree with him when he says that a lot of content creators don't watch the content of people they associate with online, whether it's like someone they follow or maybe even friends with. They're not going to consume every single video they upload. And I think that's true. Like I'm mutuals on social media with a lot of people who are content creators. I might have seen like one or two videos or a small snippet of what they do. I am not sitting there watching every single video they upload. That's just the reality.
Exactly. By the way, that's probably why I'll probably never like collab with anyone ever. It's not because I don't want to. It's because I literally don't know anyone anymore. I don't have that much time nowadays to like do a whole lot. And like my free time right now is being taken up by the stream and then like editing, right? Like so like I understand that angle completely, but again, at this point, like he is somebody who clearly endures this type of content and he can see why, right? Like I can guarantee you that Mutahar liked Dropout not because the girls were high schoolers specifically, but because the girls were probably hot as fuck, right? So like I don't get, that point from him.
There's not infinite hours in the day to do stuff like that. So yes, some things could slip through the cracks here and there. But Nux Taku to Mutahar is not just some Twitter mutual or random guy they kind of barely know, right? This is someone who he was friends with. This is someone who he collabed with. It wasn't just one video that he was reacting to that that hentai with. There was many videos. I can count at least a handful of collab videos they did on Nux Taku's main channel, and also they ran a podcast together.
Okay, I'll say this. That means nothing. That means nothing, by the way. Like, at all. That doesn't mean anything. You know how, you know what's a really good example of somebody who worked for over a decade together, making a extremely successful show that where the hosts of that show don't consider themselves friends? Mythbusters. Jamie Heidemann and Adam Savage, they're not friends. They did an extremely successful show. The Mythbusters, okay? And they're not friends. So the fact that you're collabing with someone or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that they had like a real friendship, okay? Means to me they likely had a very shallow relationship used for content. Exactly. Like, again, like we're jumping a lot. Like there's a lot of assumptions here that are being made. So I kind of want to see where Rev takes this.
So
because if he doesn't elaborate on this point further, this is again another point that it's like I feel like it's kind of like it's not relevant, right? Because at the end, like I do see it relevant in the sense that okay, this is your business partner. Don't be a dick to the people who you're doing business with, right? You know, but like. But to assume, and that's a problem, to assume that they were friends, like you don't know that. Like you don't know how their DMs were. We don't know any of that. Okay? People, like, hey, like if that's the basis, if people say that they're friends, that if that's like what we're gonna go off of, do you, for example, really believe that KSI, Logan Paul, and Mr. Beast are actual friends? Like actually though. Have you seen their on camera chemistry? They have zero chemistry. They're not friends. They're business partners. That's all they are, you know? So it's like, you know, just because somebody says they're a friend or they're friendly doesn't mean that they're actual friends, you know? Because you know what's the thing? You don't do this to an actual friend. What Mutahar did to Nux. And, you know, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that.
You didn't even look at this guy's channel. It's not like you had to watch the videos. Just scroll through the thumbnails and you would see stuff left and right that would probably upset someone with these sort of disgust they have for certain fictional content. On top of that, I do find it kind of hard to believe that he hasn't been exposed to some of these controversies, especially someone who was friends with Nux Taku, whether it's some of the thumbnail drama and all that stuff and the hypocrisy on the subject of Lolly, but also some of his bigger controversies like the Taiga controversy, for example, which would be covered in this video. He would actually mention what happened with
Taiga controversy. Taiga was okay, in summer 2022, Taiga was accused of grooming. He made a tweet longer where he reviewed the allegations and called him false. Later, an updated Google Doc was created that had evidence that not only were these allegations fake, but they were deliberately created by ex-moderators and spread by stalkers of Taiga, who in the past had spent $500,000 in super chats on him to smear him and ruin his reputation. Said stalker had even left their native country, France, and flew to Canada just so they could travel to the town Taiga lived in. Oh, okay. So, Taiga was the victim during this entire process, then. It seems to me, right? This is like, Taiga, what the hell?
With Taiga as a way to show that Nux isn't a very good person. God. And there's really a lot to say here. If you don't know the Bungo Taiga situation, I'll put a link to one of my videos in the description if you want to check out that whole thing. But he is now bringing this up in this video, acting like this is the first he's ever heard of the Nux and Taiga controversy.
To go over a bit of their controversy, in summer 2022, Taiga was accused of grooming.
Let me see how Mutahar, because again, I saw the video, but I don't know how Mutahar painted this part.
They made a tweet longer where they reviewed the allegations and called them false. Later, an updated Google Doc was created that had evidence that not only were these allegations fake, they were deliberately created by ex-moderators and spread by a stalker of Taiga. So again, this is the Google Doc in question. Now again, I have no idea about this controversy whatsoever. I'm only bringing this up because it was actually a big point of contention for someone like Nux.
So he goes on to talk about the situation
Okay. So I need to know, like, guys, Taiga had actually been from YouTube for using Shota thumbnails that he commissioned. I'm pretty sure that gets mentioned later in the video. Okay. But he is not a groomer. Okay. Thank you for the context. Thank you. That's a wild commitment, yeah.
Situation a bit. And if you don't know, very briefly, Nux called Taiga a predator based on allegations he had heard at the time. Those allegations were debunked by an independent investigator later on, and Nux made a pinned comment basically saying he would possibly readdress this whole situation if he was found innocent, which Taiga was, but he never really addressed it fully for many, many years. And over the course of basically 2 full years, this was an ongoing controversy that caused a lot of damage to the reputation of Taiga unfairly. And Nux, still to this day, really hasn't fully acknowledged. He's tried to apologize over the summer when this flared up again, but he really didn't do a very good job of it, at least to most people. But this is something that,
Dude, that pisses me off so much, dude. I hate so much people who do this, and it's such a pop, dude. There's so many big influencers that do this, and it's like it's accepted, and I hate it. I hate it so much when it happens. To literally make stuff up, source I made it the fuck up, and then like just go in on, and like destroy somebody's reputation, because of that. It really boils my blood. I'm sorry.
Like I said, been going on for 2 years consistently. A lot of people look at the Vishojo drama and that controversy with Nux, and they think that's the biggest thing he's faced. Maybe in some ways, I think it was the most explosive controversy he was a part of, but
also something I don't know about at all. So I'm very, I don't know what happened with Vishojo and him.
The Taiga situation might be the biggest because it's taken place for 2 years and it regularly flares up like it did over the summer. So I have a hard time believing Mutahar has never heard about this until now. Especially since the first attempt at an apology by Nux, the first time he addressed it, was about a year after he initially called Taiga a predator in a collab video with Hypocritical. He did that on the Some Ordinary podcast. He referred to making mistakes with that situation. He was very vague. But again, how do you not know this ever happened? I mean, it's either just putting on blinders, like he said, he's been putting on blinders to people he's friends with, or the worst possibility is that he's only bringing this up now to disparage Nux, which shows he doesn't really care about the situation, if that's the truth. If he really did know about this beforehand, but if he didn't, at the very least, he's been having very active blinders to some of the controversies that Nux has been a part of. And this whole question of
I feel like that's also really scary to do, to like bring stuff like that up right now, because I feel like this point is kind of irrelevant to the overall. Like if you feel so strongly about lolly content and all that type of stuff, like just argue on those merits. Forget who cares about this, like at all. It feels very. Sometimes And look, listen, maybe it's just that I have a different mentality when it comes to this type of stuff. But to me, it feels like a lot of times when you make it big on YouTube, a lot of people just turn into these until, they kind of turn into the type of person where they feel like other content creators are somehow like an affront or competition, or maybe like, dangerous to your current business right now, making content online. And I feel like that is probably part of the reason why people start to misconstrue and like, go and do like actual reputation damage on someone. But like, that's just a theory I have in my head, right? I'll admit it's completely just like a literal, tinfoil hat theory that I have. But I really do believe that like when people get big and they start to like blab off YouTube and whatever, and they start to see people who might like, trample on what they have going on, they start to look for ways to like take them out in that regard. And I don't know. It's because the competition threatens the eggs they put in the basket. Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, like we've seen this, right? Like it's not like, listen, it's not like we haven't seen people who had gone after other people because of, they feel that, someone might be outperforming them. Like that has happened before. I just think it's like something that happens more often than we may initially notice. But that again, that's just like my 2 cents. Power and influence transforms people, yeah. Nux pretty much got ran off YouTube, or directly or indirectly because of Nux, says with Legends, yeah. They're jealous, yeah, like, and you know where you see this a lot, actually? In the makeup community. You saw that a lot. But I think that type of stuff also happens in other places, like the commentary community and the commentary channels, you know?
Bringing up things during this video, there was a question of why do this at all, right? Like, why even bring up any of this stuff to begin with? And I think it becomes pretty obvious that there's been a big flare-up of people calling out Mutahar and his connection to Nux and some of the collabs he did with him, thanks to a Reddit post that was blowing up. He made the cardinal mistake of caring what Reddit thinks.
But one of the clips that I saw one of the things shared was resurfaced video of Oompaville, Some Ordinary Gamers, and Nux Taku watching Loli together on a Discord call. So when I see this kind of stuff,
resurfaced as if it wasn't online.
Obviously,
I love the title. Resurfaced as if it wasn't online forever. Like that video never got taken down. What are you talking about? Resurfaced? Like it was always there.
Flashbangs anybody, and I want to definitely have a talk about it and really explain to you exactly what this is, what it's about, give you my side of the perspective, and again, take accountability where accountability needs to be fucking taken.
So, yes, you can see this was the intro of the video, but he makes it clear that this post is what drove him into this, and I do probably believe that is the truth. I think this is what made him, or motivated him to make this video. I think it's pretty clear. It got under his skin, and a lot of other content creators have been...
Scott, you hit it on the head, by the way. Resurfacing likely more so means that it became a hot topic after being ignored for some time. That's exactly what that means. But, you know, but like, I always find that type of, like, of wording, like, I find it reprehensible. Like, oh, not reprehensible. Like, you try to make it sound worse than it actually is, okay? So, like, when you go ahead and do that, you know, and write it like that, it's like, dude, it's not like they were trying to hide it, you know? Like shut the fuck up. But yes, like, actually, Rev is right here. Why do you care about what people say, like, about what Reddit says about you? Like, you don't, okay, actually, do you know what's something that I feel like a lot of people don't understand about making it super, super big in social media? There's, like, a point in time where somebody like Mutahar or Oompaville or Mr. Beast or Logan Paul, whoever you want to say that has, like, a massive following, right? Some people learn how to do this well and learn how to handle this, like, part of fame well. But something that I've have to work with on my job, when I've worked with some clients that have, like, really big followings and whatnot, something that we have to train people to do once you're a brand that, you know, starts to get 1 million, 2 million, 3 million followers on your account, right? Once you do that, you have to learn how to ignore every single comment you ever get and solely listen to the people who you would consider part of your core audience. Why do you think Logan Paul does all the stuff he does? And he doesn't care what people think? Because he has a core audience that will stick by him no matter what he does, and those are the people that he listens to. That's what Mutahar should have done. But he catered to the people who were outside of his target audience, which is literally Reddit. Like, that's why when you become, like, super, super famous, you know, you gotta start ignoring the hag allegations. Shut up. I will forever be 29 years old. Shut up. But like, real talk. When like, and by the way, I'm not trying to, like, talk out of my ass here, okay? Like, just like source, trust me, bro. No, but really, when I work with, like, these super high clients and, you know, and all this type of stuff, so, like, okay, there's 2 types of audiences. There's, like, your core audience and then, like, everybody else. No matter what you do, and anything you do, like, it could be trying to make a YouTube channel about gaming. Maybe you're trying to sell a new product, like maybe you're trying to open a restaurant or open up whatever. It doesn't matter, okay? In every single instance, you should always pay attention to who your target audience is And once that target audience becomes part of your core audience and you have people on your, circle that you can go to always, everything that comes after that is just asserts. You don't care. You don't care if people talk smack about you on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube or whatever. You should always and solely listen to the people who are in your core audience, because the thing about the people who are in your core audience is that they actually care about you. They really do care about you. And the people who really care about you, those are the ones that you need to make sure you're listening to. Because you know what's the thing? Right now, listen, let's be honest. I know that my character is not very modest with some of the assets. I did that entirely on purpose. You know why? Because I am acutely aware that some people are going to be turned off by that. And I'll never have a reason to listen to those people. The people that I need to listen to are here right now. And if I'm doing something wrong, I know that you guys will tell me. I'll need to hear it from somebody from Twitter, or Reddit, or whatever platform you want to, include over here. And the people who are in my community who want what's best for me will tell me that. And those are the people that I need to listen to.
Coming for him, even calling Mutahar a predator and all these things for the content he was exposed to while reacting to those videos with Nux Taku. And it really begs the question of, who was this video for? Was this video for entertainment and the entertainment of his audience? Or was this to quell concerns among his colleagues and really like commentary channels, generally speaking? And I think it's the latter. And I think
dude, Mutahar is definitely, like 100%, he's just trying to like distance himself from Nux Taku,
if he had a more level-headed reaction to this whole situation, clearly this was a very emotionally charged video. I think if he went with a clearer head, he wouldn't have made this video. When you get to a point where you're making a video not for entertainment or the informing your audience of a situation or anything like that, when it becomes like an airing out of personal grievances against people or things like that, that tends to have a bad reaction. And the reaction from the people to Mutahar when his video was still up was very largely negative. The majority of comments were negative. There was a heavy
I just found it weird because I wasn't on board. Like, I didn't know what was happening between Nux and him. So when I saw this, I just kind of saw it as him, distancing himself from him and kind of like apologizing a little bit. But I find really funny that at the start of the video, I think he says that he was doing this to be accountable, and then like less than 24 hours later, the video is gone. So what happened to the accountability, bro? By the way, for the record, it's still like Mutahar. It's just that, it's kind of funny.
dislike ratio. I think it was very clear that people were just not really impressed by a 40-minute video attacking someone over fictional content, attacking to the point where you end a friendship and a business relationship over it. But there's also this is the post that I'm referring to, by the way. I'm a little scattered here with all these tabs open, but this was the post on Reddit if you're curious. But this is the conclusion. Again,
I really feel like this post on Reddit specific, dude, make it, dude, the fucking nerve. The nerve. Look at the nerve of this guy, dude. Look at that thumbnail. The nerve, dude. This is a headpiece, 100%. Damn, Mutahar, you should know better than this. You know how this goes. Dude, I am surprised. I am surprised. I can't believe Mutahar fell for this. Dude, this is like the classic, trying to deplatform and fuck with you 101 from people who don't really care about you. Damn, like he even has a picture photoshopped with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, how about we real the Nux Taku being as Jeffrey Epstein thing is kind of funny. but like, come on, bro. Like, come on, little bro. You are, dude, Mutahar, you are good at this, all right? Like, you've been doing this for a while. Come on.
Here with all these tabs open, but this was the post on Reddit if you're curious. But this is the conclusion of the video, so let's listen to his final thoughts and kind of how he wraps up everything in this video.
At the end of
and Indeed versus two characters.
the day,
Again, 3.
I make fuck-ups. Human beings, we all make fuck-ups. I think choosing how you acknowledge those fuck-ups, that goes a long way. And how I choose to acknowledge this fuck-up is basically, again, by completely being 100% transparent, honest with you, shedding light on things like the podcast shutting down, and ultimately
So wait, so why did you delete the video, Mutahar? Why did you do it? I hope he responds, by the way.
I want to move past this, leave this behind, and really just sort of end this on a note where at least I get my side of the story out. For the last...
So, obviously, he harps on taking accountability a lot during this video, and then the video goes private. So kind of like, what was the point of all of this? I'm not quite sure. But he would make a community post on YouTube saying this.
Regarding the last video about Nux, well, I can't be a... okay. When you move my silly head. Okay. Regarding the last video about Nux, well, I can't be a friend after some of the recent things that surfaced. I do feel I did do an overreaction that stemmed from being an emotional reaction from the community on Reddit. I've been watching my content for the past few weeks and I realized my channel has slipped into a slop channel. Oh my god, no, he's doing this too. I have made more drama-related content over the last several months that I have fun engaging informative content. This includes producing videos that don't release daily. I need to take more time and release content a couple of times a week that stands in quality and not quantity. I don't do this for a job, so it's honestly going out of my way to constantly chase trends has done nothing beneficial for me other than alienate my most hardcore fans. This is a lie, by the way. He is getting insane views from doing this every single day. That's the entire purpose why you did it in the first place. I do believe that he doesn't have to do this in order to actually sustain his current living. Like, if he decides to upload a video every 2 to 3 days, he'll be just fine. And hey, you know what? I actually applaud him for saying that, hey, you know what? I want to make better stuff and, you know, kind of like fuck all this drama stuff. Like, you know what? Cool. I actually respect him for that. But dude, it has benefited you. Like, let's not pretend like this, like drama farming. Look at Asmongold. Like the reason why Asmongold is as huge as he is, it's because of that, right? So I don't know why we're pretending like it's not like the reason. Like, dude, bro, there's a market for it. It's fine. Like, hey, own it. You know, own it. It's fine. Like, you're making insane money out of this. Probably that's fine. That's okay. It's your job. Like, it is your job to follow the trends, right? Take it from a marketer, right? Like, dude, it's okay. Just accept it. I need to take a few days off and reset, and produce better content that isn't the latest trends or internet drama. While that produces a good view count, told you so, it's not the kind of content I want to be known for. I'll be back with content that I'm proud of. In regards to past collaborations, all I can do is apologize and promise to do better. Okay, that was an okay response. I don't think he needs to stop doing drama content. People enjoy his insight. There's a market for that. Why stop? Okay, like, dude, it's fine. There's a market for it. Like, that's okay. I think you can actually do both at the same time. So, okay, he's just reading this, but he just read aimless, just completely aimless, you know, ranting about something that wasn't that big of a deal, in my opinion.
And like I said earlier in the video, I've been a fan of his content for years. And I would like to see a return, but for a lot of people, after seeing kind of this whole thing go down, they might not be giving a second chance, but that's up to every individual person. And yeah, feel free to react the way you want to that situation. But for now, that's going to do it for this Mutahar x Nux. Yeah,
okay. Good video. It's really funny because it's like one of those situations where like both parties have a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of, you know, skeletons in their closet, if you want to put it that way. I don't think it's that. Honestly, none of the things that they both said about each other is like that serious. Like, whatever, people talk shit, who cares, right? Whatever. But I feel like it feels like the funny thing about this drama in particular is that it feels like really petty. It feels really petty. Like really petty, you know? It's like, why go to this extent just because somebody made a YouTube video about you, tried to like take you down in that regard? Like, bro, who cares? You know, like, you do you, boo. You know, you are a very successful, YouTuber. It's a big deal out of not much to be. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about this. Rule number 1 of lolcast: they can't take criticism from randos on the internet. Reddit, yeah, actually true. Although I will say, Christian has become an actual titan. You know, Christian has been able to like handle that criticism and like all the people making fun of him super well lately.